www and where it actually comes from. This is why I said, we've done a video about this, especially when it relates back to CERN. She said it's just an acronym. We gave it that name. So before it was just www, which in turn is 666. But if you've done research on this stuff, you will come to find out that Tim Berners-Lee is the guy who invented the World Wide Web while working at CERN in 1989. Now, he is not the inventor of the internet. I think the internet was invented by two scientists in the 60s. But he is the guy that invented the World Wide Web in 1989. The web was originally conceived and developed to meet the demand for automatic information sharing between scientists and universities and institutes. CERN is not an isolated laboratory, but rather a focus for extensive community that includes more than 10,000 scientists from over 100 countries. Berners-Lee wrote the first proposal for the World Wide Web at CERN in 1989, further refining the proposal with Belgian systems engineer Robert Cailloux the following year. On November 12, 1990, the pair published a form proposal outlining principal concept and defining important terms behind the web. The document described a hypertext project called World Wide Web, in which a web of hypertext documents could be viewed by browsers. And by the end of 1990, prototype software for a basic web system was already being demonstrated. We already know about CERN with the Hadron Collider, them basically trying to recreate the Big Bang, them finding the God particle, trying to find what makes the fabric of this world, the dark matter, the things that surrounds us, that is 95% of this universe, but we just can't see it. They want to tap into that. Goes back to like how Pastor Darby and a bunch of other people have said. They gave it the example of, like, say you're building a house, and instead of houses being built with nails, you find out that the house was built with glue. And now you want to know what makes the glue, stick. Where does the glue come from? That is what CERN is trying to do with the universe. They want to know what God used to separate the physical and spiritual world. That is what they are trying to accomplish. That's why so many of them will openly admit that they're opening portals and they don't know what's going to come out of those portals. They're basically trying to, pierce the veil. They want to know what is behind the veil, what makes it up. No matter what kind of dark entities enter into our world, they want to know. That is what they're trying to create, while also trying to create a universe without time and a universe without God. And that goes back to the devil himself. And now that you know what CERN is all about, and we have that understanding, we will now understand how the internet was created. If the internet was created at a place like CERN, where I just explained to you what they are trying to do, what they're trying to tap into with this universe, then obviously this knowledge was given to them by spirits, fallen angel spirits. It was obviously given to them so that the devil can, continue to be the God of this world. The devil wants to be omnipresent like God, and the internet and technology is his way of doing that. Why do you think everyone is stuck on their phones now? This is why he created the internet. This is why algorithms are created. This is why everything that has to do with technology has been created. All of this knowledge has been given to people by fallen angels. It didn't just come out of nowhere. This is his way to be omnipresent, in order to track and watch and see everything. The devil can attack you through many ways. It doesn't have to be, physically in your life. It's mostly done mentally right here on the internet.
Anybody can put a name on something. What do you call it? A non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. What do I call it? A nigga don't ask. It means the same thing. Don't we want to accept what's right in our faces? Want to know why? Because motherfuckers get up and ask this a question before they ask God a question.
Because motherfuckers get up and ask this a question before they ask God a question.
Matter of fact, I know motherfuckers motherfuckers that's so fucking cold in this motherfucking system shit, that's so fucking caught up in the matrix shit, that they actually think they're praising God when they get online and start praising God for people to see them praising God but didn't pray before they went live. You trusted, you needed to get on that technology before you even prayed and thank God. How many of us are guilty of that? Even me some days.
True.
Even me, like we're there. It says don't bow down to any graven images. And I sat here and I proved to you there's a young man whose music I love, and his own lyric is, I would trade her love for a Grammy. The greatest gifts in life: love, charity. You know, we got a book. It's written in plain English. They might have fucked around with it a little bit, but the meat of it is still there. We're always busy trying to reinterpret it and interpret it and make it mean what we want it to mean, and yet we don't acknowledge it for what it say. We just want to make it mean what we want to make it mean. And that's why I love that movie, The Book of Eli, with Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman. And the coldest line in that whole film was when they kept asking Gary Oldman, why do you keep sending us to get killed by this guy for this fucking book? We bring you books all the time. What's so special about this book? He said, you don't understand. It's the words in the book. If I read these words, they'll do whatever I say because it comes from the book. He was talking about the Bible. And the one thing he proved is this: those words are very valuable, whether you're using them for the right thing or whether you're using them for the wrong thing.
Powerful.
Jesus Christ goes to the synagogue, gets upset because he don't like what's happening. There's more money handling and more judging going on than people actually getting their souls fed and actually really having fellowship and really seeing it in each other to come closer to God. No, it didn't look nothing like that. There's more money handling and more judging going on than people actually getting their souls fed. Jesus Christ goes to the synagogue, gets upset because he don't like what's happening. There's more money handling and more judging going on than people actually getting their souls fed. And Jesus Christ goes to the synagogue, gets upset because he don't like what's happening. There's more money handling and more judging going on than people actually getting their souls fed and actually really having fellowship and really seeing it in each other to come closer to God. No, it didn't look nothing like that. He flipped out. He had something to say about it. And he said, my Father said his house is to be a house of worship for all people. That means you, all people. No separation. All people means all people. Yet we have 80 million fucking denominations and we're arguing about the same God. No, he's my God. No, my God's better than, no, my God don't, no, because my God, like I think we keep forgetting the program was designed to make the mind trust the program. So much so to the point where you don't even realize you're doing it when you're doing it.